Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Anarchy podcast. I'm your host, Super, and here with me we have FallsGreen. We're here to talk about him, his life on Anarchy, and more. So, to start this off, how are you doing, Falls?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
Quite well, actually. I just got this game on Steam called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's supposed to be really good. But that's enough about
That's
me,
nice.
and we'll start off with you. So, to start this off with an opening question. It's going to be how did you find out about 2B2T and Anarchy in general?
Well, I found about 2BTT and by the Camping Rusher actually. Funny enough, I watched his quote unquote oldest server in Minecraft and then it got me interested in the server from there. I joined in July 2016 and yeah,
So before 2016, you had no clue that Anarchy even existed.
no clue at all. I didn't even know it existed.
For a lot of I wouldn't say a majority of the player base, but a lot of them, there are mostly rushers, rusher fags. But before the 2016, when you joined, what did you do before then?
What I did was before TBT, I played on like PVE servers. So basically, player versus environment. So you just claim your builds, such like that. It's basically like survival, with like a little community and all of that. You can say it's like town or whatever. But another thing I did for 2B was play a little factions, and not like the OP fucking shitty ones that everybody else plays nowadays. Just like the basic kind, like you just raid each other, and just have fun, and just build your bases.
Do you remember any of the servers I used to play on?
Yeah, like I think one was like Mine Time or something, Webcraft. Those two I remember a lot. Webcraft got shut down. I think Mine Time it got shut down too, but then came back up because like the EULA, something like that.
Wasn't that also a big reason why you left factions to go to Anarchy? Is because of the EULA change, right?
Yeah,
Um, Now, I know that you haven't just played on 2B2T, and you've played on other Anarchy servers since 2016, so I want to ask you about a few of them. So, to my knowledge, the one that you played the most on was 3B3T, am I right?
yeah, that's correct.
So, what's your life on there? When did you start, and what kind of life did you have on there?
On WTT, well, my life was on there when I first joined in 2016, and then 2017 actually, so I got shut down for like whatever reason, because of owner reasons, and couldn't like keep it up. So basically, what it did have was like set home and TPA and etc. It was a great place to have like a lot of fucking PvP and shit. It was fun as fuck, and just to raid people. Basically, like you can call it like anarchy factions at the time. That's kind of what it was.
Awesome, awesome. Now, you also played on 9b9t.com, right?
Yeah.
Or 9b9t.com. So, what's your history with 9b? Because it's still up, and it's still surviving quite well.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like playing it at the time, I didn't really play that much in 2016. I just made like my first base on that server, and then that was pretty much it. And then 2017, a 9B, right? I was just like crystal bombing faggots at spawn, like a lot. And that was probably like the most fun I had. And that's how I like met a few of my friends that I know today,
Really? Like who?
like FaZe Keem, Jot, Sunken, Corrupted Greed, a couple people that I still know.
Cool, cool. Now, you also played on 4B, am I right?
Yeah.
Now, like the other service that I asked, can you give a little summary on your life on there as well?
Well, 4v4T, it was pretty confusing because like there was a lot of like new owners and like changing the maps and all of that. So like Tour for You was an owner at one point, and then another guy and another guy. But it was good in the beginning of 2016, like in the mid, but then it got worse and worse and worse, and then people just stopped playing to a point, and then people played it again, and then people quit. So like, not a lot of like important things happen. It's just like any other Anarchy server, really.
Awesome. So there are a couple other clones now. Just bear with me because I'll also ask about those ones. And the first one, or first of the last ones I'm going to ask you about, Anarchy.pw. That was a pretty popular one. So what is your story with that?
IPW. I don't think it did much on there. I think I just made like a dupe stash on there, and because of like it was just like what's called the 1111 dupe had happening a lot on there for a period. So like people just made dupe stashes a lot, and people just made dupe stash and just PvP a lot and built like great builds on there. And then eventually it got shut down like late 2018, something like that, September. But
Awesome.
yeah,
That's kind of cool. So another one that I've actually seen you on and that you've talked about quite recently is Constantium. So why have you started playing on that?
I think it's because like it's more like I mean it has just like a good playing experience that I like a lot, and that it's just like no other server can provide that, and it's just like I can do whatever I want on there without having like worry about a lot of people like fucking me over or something like that. Has a lot of freedom to it.
Yeah, some say that Constantium or even 9B is like, say, 2B2T at the start of 2016.
Hmm.
But I digress. uh, do you feel like your history with clones or 2B2T or other Anarchy servers, how do you think it's changed your opinion on 2B or even the Anarchy scene? Because you've had quite a bit of experience with the different communities.
Hmm. I think it's changed like I think it's changed like meeting new people that probably you wouldn't be able to meet because you have to like wait in the queue for a while, and that's also good. Like just meeting other people is always good, and like knowing what they, their playing experience and all that. Just it's good to see other perspectives on other servers and how like they see things because it's always different to see.
Yeah, yeah, there are always different things that make a server a server. So, what do you think is your favorite experience in Anarchy? So, you haven't played 2B2T in quite a while, but you have been playing, Constantium, and do you feel like, other servers are less toxic as 2B?
Uh, Probably not. I mean, I think they all have like kind of the same level of toxicity. Like I don't even think. I think 2B is like the most toxic out of all servers, obviously, because of the amount of people. But yeah,
So, in your words, it's the people that make the server shit?
yeah, I think that's always been a thing, like since day one.
Yeah, there are always these things and people that, go to screwing, servers and communities up. But what do you think you've done for the communities that you've been in?
I've done. Let's see. What I've done is like in the past, I used to be an like a member, like a high ranking member in Imperium on 2B2T.
We'll get to that, but how do you think you've changed? Like, do you think you've been nice to the communities you've been in? Do you feel like you've been sort of toxic? Like, how do you think your presence has changed the communities that you've been in?
I think probably a little bit. I think I try to like keep people on their toes, keep people like remembering that this is anarchy and you can do what you want. And I think I just like try to remind people that, and like remember that it's like just remember what you're playing on. Like that's it. I think that's
Yeah,
what
like
people
this isn't
mostly remember.
any.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this isn't any Hightail factions, or not Hightail,
Yeah.
Hypixel. Um, and
Mm.
what with Hypixel and other servers, how do you feel like 2B stacks up against other servers like, say, Mineplex or Hypixel? Like, obviously, they're different categories in Minecraft servers, but do you think 2B is, or Anarchy really, is the pinnacle of fun on Minecraft?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Cause like it provides like certain amount of freedom that no other quote unquote game mode or mini game can capture. Cause like even like I think so. Cause it just like provides like this freedom. Like I think that everybody would want to a point where like you can do like a unlimited amount of things that I think the game developers always wanted for Minecraft to be.
Yeah, like maybe in Anarchy you're playing it how the game is, intended to be played.
Yeah,
That's a lot of opinion on a lot of people. Um, Now, I want to get away from that topic and start off with your history. So, starting off in July of 2016, if I'm correct, that's when you first started, right?
that's correct.
Yeah. So, starting off in, July of 2016, do you think 2B has evolved? And if it has, for the better or for the worse?
I think it's evolved and I think it's changed for the better and worse. For the better, for the diverse player base, so like things don't get boring for a while, just having the same people, the same server all the time. But also for the worst, for the amount of like fucking stupid new fags and complete shit that they don't know or what they're playing on all the time. But yeah, there are a few like downies that impact the server on their own eventually.
Yeah, like you said earlier, that it's the players that make the server toxic. So perhaps what with the new players, what with Ant, Venom, and even Rusher, still from 2016, it may have just evolved the server to a point where it's toxic to even play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you haven't played since December, right? On 2B2T. You have been on Constantium and other clones, but why did you leave?
Why did I leave?
Yeah.
The reason why I left was because, well, during the time there was a lot of fucking like drama and shit, and a lot of like lag on the server at the same time. The reason for the lag was because of the fucking the chunk dupe, which everybody was doing at the time, which I tried to do, but like I just couldn't get to work, which is fine. I think I had enough items at the time at my dupe stash, but also another thing that people wanted was like the server to update finally, but House never did that.
Yeah, now he's going straight to 1.14.
hmm
Speaking of updates, actually, how do you think the new updates are going to change the dynamic of the server?
I mean, I think they'll change it for probably like lag reasons. I don't think like adding a few new things will probably like change it a lot that much. I think it will always be somewhat similar to what it always is. Probably it will change like PvP a little bit, but not that major. The redstone things.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, these updates always create some chaos and create some problems with any kind of server, really. Um, but what with 2B and its future? Where do you see it going in the future?
To in its future. I see it changing to the point where like I think it'll probably shut down eventually, and then probably I mean even if it shut down, I think House would probably like send like a we'll download the entire like server, and probably like some other artists will probably like get a hold of it, probably make their own server of it, and then eventually like keep going maybe, but who knows?
It's hard to stop the beast that is 2B.
Yeah.
Now I want to get off of the whole idea of the server by itself, but maybe the things in its server, maybe the teams per se. So, What are your experiences and what's your history with even groups on 2B? Now, I know you have been on factions, as you just said, but on 2B, I know you've been in Imperium, as you just said, but what's your experience with all of those sort of factions?
With the groups on the server or factions, quote unquote. The
Groups,
groups.
factions, same thing.
Or recently, I think groups for like I think groups, in my opinion, they always been decently well for the fact like they always been a need for the server, and because people always want to be a part of something, like always, or like make a name for themselves, ironically. Like smaller groups will always be a thing, no doubting, and big groups, sorry, will always be a thing.
But don't you see some bigger groups maybe dying off or some other groups, rising up?
Yeah, that will always be a thing too, because the server will always change and groups will always change, and like friends will always not be friends and all that.
Gotcha, gotcha. So when you are playing the server, now I know you were in Imperium as a high-ranking member, but what was your highest rank?
I think it was called Inner Council.
Yeah, inner council. So what was your? Can you give us a summary of your stay in Imperium?
Well, my stay in there was I think I joined in like 2017 February, and we did a lot of cool things during the time of that year, and like I think taking down PK or fighting them or inciting other groups like Visionary Organization or Smack Attack, for example, bed trapping him and making fun of Mr. Ema Bunny. But all in all, it was a great time to be in the group. But eventually things change, and yeah.
Now you left Imperium, but why?
Why did I leave? Hmm. I left because it wasn't. It basically wasn't like the same, or like people I didn't really recognize or cared about, or like leading, quote unquote, or helped. Like I really didn't want to help people that didn't really care that I was in the group or anymore. So I just left.
Gotcha, gotcha. So when you now you've been on topic, on record on saying that you don't like Imperium. So what is it that sets it off for you?
Basically, it's not special anymore, in my opinion. For like the reasons that are, it's just it just like it's just not doing what it used to do, or it doesn't have a purpose like nowadays, or like other groups do.
Maybe like it lost its magic?
Yeah,
Mhm. Where do you see the group going in the future?
probably not existing anymore, or maybe another leader would own it and probably do a bad job.
Yeah, I mean, like Emperor's going off to college soon, or at least I think soon. So, with him leaving eventually, where do you see the group going?
I see it going not very well, and for the fact that it can't really function without Emperor, honestly. For the fact that like he knows how it works, and like I mean he made it, of course, because like he made the system, and he knows how it works, and like everybody just listens to him because he knows what he's doing. No other like random faggot will be able to capture that.
No other faggot. So, um, instead of going for the big group like Imperium or Voco or whatever team that you are not as fond of, you made a point saying that you are fond of the smaller groups on 2B. So why are you so fond of smaller groups on 2B and like not others like Imperium or Voco?
I think because you have less to worry about, like other people. like just random people fucking you over, like because like it just gets big to a point, like you have to keep worrying about other people that you don't care about or something like that, or like smaller groups because you get to easily like know them better since like it's a smaller like piece of a group and you get to know them easily and all of that and become closer. So that's why I like them so much.
Yeah, I mean, like there have been instances in the past of like groups being sort of lazy with their people, and then everything going wrong. Boo. But but I digress. Uh, who do you feel like you like to play with the most?
Probably, that's hard to answer because I like to play with like a lot of people. It's not just like one person. Um, I think it comes down to like if they like to do what I like to do, like mess around with people, fuck around, just do whatever, like on the server or any game probably.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, where do you see yourself in the future? Now you've given your opinion on other groups and the server, but what about yourself?
What will I be doing is probably still playing for
Like
the
playing
fact that
Constantium?
yeah, probably that. Just taking things slow, which is I like nowadays. Just it's like I think that's how it always should be. Not always fast paced and always trying to do stuff all the time. Just relaxing.
Do you think you'll go back to 2B in the summer?
Oh, most definitely I will.
Yeah, why not more recent? Like the lag has somewhat gone down. I mean, like sometimes in the weeks it cripples the server just with DDoSing and shit like that. But like nowadays the lag isn't that bad, and the drama's calmed down for the most part. So why not just come back now?
Well, because basically because of the queue, a lot of fucking queue, and the fact that I don't have priority queue, and I guess I can just wait till summer. Because why not? Also, school is getting in the way of all of that.
Yeah, but I
So I
mean
don't.
the queue's gonna just go up in the summer.
Oh, I know, but it doesn't really matter.
All right, all right. So do you have, I mean, that's somewhat the end of the questioning from me to you. Do you have anything to say to me or the community before we go on to the community questions?
Nah, I think that's it.
All right, so there was actually not before I get into the preemptively asked questions, I want to ask you about your time with the incursions, the 6th and 7th. So can you give us a little summary of your time with that?
Sixth incursion was called. I think it was a great time, in my opinion, to be on, cause like it was Imperium, Boko, Don Pure, Boko. Wait, I said Boko already. Spawn Masons, all of us, all the groups, major groups, all came together just to mess with ant fags. And even if we did come together, we weren't really attacking Ant Venom. I think Ant Venom joined us at one point as a meme, but we really didn't attack Ant Venom that much. And but yeah, we just made in general just a big obsidian wall, 1,000 by 1,000 or 2,000 by 2,000 at 2v2t spawn, and I think it was pretty successful.
I mean, like, was it that success? Like, it was. It didn't even go down to bedrock.
I think it went successful though, in my opinion.
All right. Say what you will. So that's the end of the questioning from me to you. And now there was a preemptive question asked by Kabata asking, "What's your favorite kind of cheese?"
Hmm. Actually, I think shredded cheese. That's a kind of cheese. I think that's my kind of.
I
I don't really like. I don't really like square cheese that much.
No, I mean like, do you like cheddar, mozzarella, pepper jack? Like what kind of cheese?
I think mozzarella. I think that I like that the most.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much for being on the Anarchy podcast. I'm your host, Super, I'd like to thank you for watching the Anarchy podcast. If you'd like to be part of the discussion, don't forget to join the Discord in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Fuck my friends, they're gone. They all left one by one. And now the summer's done. They don't need no more fun.